take a couple of questions with your permissions, and would like to see who is interested in posing a question. Hiwa Kakiwa. Hiwa Atman. Are you with still IWPR or you've moved affiliation? I have to be nice to journalists.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Hiwa Osman. I'm proudly today from Sulaimani, and I welcome you, Mr. Foreign Minister. Thank you for your vision. It's great, beautiful, and this is the future that I would like to see for my daughter. But a question actually to both foreign ministers. In the new developments in the Middle East in general, of course, a new place is emerging. But as the space for the liberals, for the seculars, for the Democrats is becoming less and less by the day in the various countries, how do you see the future that accommodates various sects, conflicting, various ethnicities, but yet a space for the liberals, for the seculars, for the Democrats, regardless of all these other identities? Thank you.
Thank you. Ahmed Bey.
I think here, just to make a conceptual clarification, when we say secular, liberal, Democrat, and saying that, let's say, the other Shia, Sunni, or others, these are two different categories. Cultural identity is different than political ideology. I mean, should be separated from political ideology. A Sunni or Shiite both can be liberal, Democrat, or secular. This is not, exclusive categories. And if I say in Turkish, regarding Turkey, when I was teaching at the university in a PhD, postgraduate, I was especially teaching all these political ideologies and how it was part and parcel of Turkish society. All these ideologies, liberalism, democracy, secularism, they are in Turkey, it goes back to early 19th century. So they are part of our society. They are inclusive, the essential part of our intellectual life, of our social life, and it is not exclusive. In economic thinking, we are liberal because we are free market, we are defining free market economy. In separating religion and politics, in the sense of citizenship, we are secular. And in respect to fair and free election and inclusive participation to politics, we are democratic. But at the same time, we are Sunni or Shiite. This is something different. I think you have an important point, especially during Arab Spring in certain countries. Therefore, I refer to citizenship. And of course, I don't want to make reference to Iraqi politics here, but if one day we have different political parties running for election because of their differences of economic or political philosophy or program, this is the most healthiest way. But if you have politics based on ethnicity and sectarian identity, this is dangerous. In our region, we have this in Lebanon, in other countries. If you have a party where economic liberalism, political democratic trend, Muslims, Christians, Sunnis, Shiites, Kurds, Turks, Arabs are in the same party, this is an achievement. In our case, in our party, sometimes when we have cabinet meeting, we have former socialists, former nationalists, former Islamists, liberal, secular, and secular is, for us, in the sense of separation, politics and religion, is an essential principle of state. So therefore, I am not pessimistic, but at the same time, all of us, we need to create a new political culture and rediscover our heritage and interpret this from liberal or socialist perspective, but inclusive as ingredient, as natural parts of our political culture.
Well, I would add really that the situation in Iraq is different. Definitely, the role of the liberal forces, the leftist forces, the democratic forces, you see, let's put it that way, because any democracy needs Democrat, really. So simple as that.
Democracy needs Democrats.
Exactly. So that's why, I mean, who destroyed this, this class? Actually, it was the Ba'ath Party who destroyed it. If you go back to the origin of the lack of the liberal forces or impact here in Iraq, it was the Ba'ath who abolished the middle class, who undermined the society through their own policies. And again, after the regime change, after the liberation of Iraq, again, the bulk of these forces, the middle class, the professional people, left the country. That's why many of our liberal politicians like Adnan Parchachi, like Ahmed Chalabi, like Ayad Alawi really cannot build on their constituency of this liberal constituency. And we have a problem. And this is a matter, I think, of education. It will come back. But now, to be honest with you, it's the sectarian association, ethnic association is stronger, let's say, than those pure or clear liberal forces that comes up. And in the elections, you can testify. This time, hopefully it would be better, because really the major political blocs have broken everywhere. I mean, in Kurdistan, among the Shia, among the Sunnis. So there could be some new forces emerging, small groups, to be considered liberal but really I think there is some time until we regain that class again. And any democracy, any viable democracy need this middle class definitely to be sustainable.
Luay.
Thank you. Luay Al-Khatib from Brookings. Mr. Oglu, last year you mentioned quite an important statement in New York at a forum, I think was the Caspian Forum. Mm-hmm. You mentioned that Turkey's mission is to connect countries through economies to establish peace.
Yes.
And I thought that was quite an important and interesting statement. Do you see Ankara will continue its reach out to maintain a tripartite agreement with Baghdad and Erbil, or to stand firmly with such a promise and not to derail from a state-to-state relationship when it comes to connecting economies, countries to establish economies and maintain peace? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is very timely and expected question. Let me give you another example so that I will come to Turkey, Baghdad and KRG relations. We have another project, which is really a peace project, which is Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan from Caspian Sea to Mediterranean, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Turkey. Now we have another project, which we signed 2 years ago, TANAP, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Turkey, going to Greece, from Greece up to Adriatic. This will connect Caucasia as a critical region to Balkans as another critical region. And it will connect Turkey to Greece. 20 years ago, nobody would imagine that Turkey would be supporting this transfer of oil from Azerbaijan, which is a Turkic state, to Turkey and from Turkey to Greece. But what we want to achieve with Greece at the end of the day, ultimate peace. Greece is our neighbor. And therefore, when I said zero problems, with Greece, for example, in 87 years, we signed 35 agreements. In last 4 years, in 2 high-level cooperation council meetings, we signed 50 agreements. Now, a Turkish nationalist may think, ultra-nationalist, we are all nationalists but based on citizenship, may think that why are we strengthening Greece in economic crisis? Why are we helping them? We think the opposite. If Greece is strong, then our relation will be stable. If Greece is economically weak, there will be racism or other threats. This economic interdependency, natural gas from Caspian, Azerbaijan up to Greece, I call this as a peace pipeline, not only natural gas pipeline. Now, when I said about transport, now I can come to energy, what we want to see is Basra, Baghdad, Mosul, Erbil, Diyarbakir, Ankara, then Europe will be, if it is connected by oil and natural gas resources, all these regions in the countries and regions in the continents will be connected and peace will be established. And here, again, as a friend of Iraq, I want to say, without interfering, having any intention to intervene in domestic politics, Iraq, territorial integrity of Iraq, political unity is main principle of Turkey. But at the same time, I think all of us, we know, this can be guaranteed only by power sharing and revenue sharing. If all the parties in Iraq, all the parties or regions or provinces share revenues together in a rational way, that revenue will make Iraq very, very prosperous. In our region, there are certain blessed countries like Iraq. In fact, very few. There are some countries in the region, human manpower is very high like Turkey, but natural resource is very scarce. Turkey and Egypt. There are some countries like Gulf countries, natural resources are very high, but manpower is less. But Iraq, you have everything. The most optimum country in the sense of economic development in our region is Iraq. With a good understanding, common vision, Iraq in a few years could be a rising star. But the principle is everybody must be part of every process. If there is an exclusive process, then everybody will lose. As Turkey, what we want to see is Baghdad and Erbil, central government and Iraqi Kurdistan region, KRG, sit together, agree on a principle, then we will be the most happiest. Turkey, at the end of the day, we are energy deficit. We need energy. We will buy this energy from wherever it comes. For our national interest, we cannot say we will not buy any energy which is offered to us. We will buy. And Turkey is a transit country, will try to get all these resources to other continents. The best way is, the economic rationality says, if there are natural resources, if Iraq needs development, Turkey needs energy, sit together, agree on principles, forget small details, but concentrate on a vision. Therefore, we are committed to Iraqi constitution. Whatever Iraqi constitution says, we will not bypass. Iraqi constitution is respected, and everybody must respect, not only citizens of Iraq, but neighboring countries as well. But at the same time, we think that we should not miss and waste time anymore. And there should be economic rationalities to solve, and we believe in visionary leadership in Erbil and Baghdad. We hope they will find a solution. But at the end of the day, Turkey will do everything possible. Everything possible if Turkey can help to resolve certain technical issues based on this constitutional framework. And this will unite, this will help integration in Iraq, inside Iraq, and this will help Turkey and Turkish-Iraqi relations. At the end of the day, KRG is our door to Iraq. So we want to have this door always open to us and to the other provinces of Iraq. And I don't mean only here, Baghdad or others, but all. For us, Turkey is ready for economic interdependency, without domination, without any imposition, without any bypassing of our domestic rules and principles. We are ready to work without any limit. Any proposal based on this economic rationality, we will help.
Hoshyar, do you have any comment on that?
No.
You better stay out of this. Dr. Mukhtar. He's a professor from Sanandaj University in Iranian Kurdistan.
I apologize to Hoshyar for not asking him this question, and again put my question to Professor Oglu. Do you think that without solving the Kurdish dilemma in Turkey, you can play a big brother's role in the new Osmanism policy that you have in the region, as we saw in your vision of brotherly citizenship? So I think without solving the Kurdish dilemma, this will be just like putting a gloss, really, on the policy. Thank you.
I didn't hear correct, but if it is right that what I hear that, did you use big brother? First of all, let me reject this totally. There is no big brother, and we don't have any intention like this. We are against all big brothers, not only in our region, but in the world. We are equal brothers of the same family. Therefore, we have been criticizing P5. My dear colleague Bernard Kouchner is here, but we have been criticizing P5 why there are some nations are more equal than others. No, we are all sons and daughters of Adam and Eva. We are all equal. Let me clarify this first. Then, about our Kurdish, what you say, dilemma. Therefore, I made reference in my speech about our Kurdish issue. Yes, we had therefore I said modernity. In tradition, we didn't have such a problem, Turkish or Kurdish or Arab nationalistic identities competing against each other. In traditional time, for centuries, they lived together. Some speak Kurdish, some speak Turkish, some speak Arabic, or Bosniak or Albanian. But in modern state, this nationalistic ideology everywhere, not only in Turkey, try to create homogeneous cultures and identities. Now, after all these experiences, we have this solution process. We made so many reforms in 10 years, and we are on the way to solve this issue through our inclusivity in Turkey, and not foreign interference. And therefore, there has been a huge progress, and will be more progress in the future. Because Turkey, at the end of the day, is democracy. Inclusive politics is part of our identity. As I said, in Turkey, for example, our party, at least I can say, is cross-ethnical, cross-sectarian. In our party, we have a huge representation of Kurdish politician, Turkish politician, Sunni or Alevite or others, but at the end we agree on a political vision together. The difference of Turkey in that sense is there is a historical continuity of these identities. Even to state identity, war of liberation or others. I am very optimistic, and we do not have any intention to solve this problem. But if you ask me about Kurdish issue in general in the region, I can say, therefore I said, we have to respect territorial integrities, but we have to make them as flexible, as meaningless as possible. If that happens, Kurds everywhere in Iran, in Iraq, in Turkey, in Syria will have a horizontal connectivity as well, and they will be bridges of friendship between Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran. But if there is a new rising nationalism based on Kurdish, Turkish, Arab, or Iranian ethnicities, that will create a hell for Kurds because they are on the borders everywhere. What we need to see is an inclusive politics in Turkey. We will continue these reforms, and an inclusive regional integration where Kurds will be part and parcel of this integration and will be maybe one of the most benefiting community. But at the same time, like Erbil and Süleymaniye, if you go to Erbil, as if you are going to a central Anatolian city, all Turkish companies are there. This is what we need. Or if you come to Turkey, you can see the same. Many Arabs, many Kurds are coming to Turkey as tourists. We want to have more and more economic integration to resolve all these, what you call the dilemma.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Don the president of the university is threatening me that she will retract every nice word she said about me if I don't close the meeting, because we have the other panels pressing hard. I thank the Foreign Minister Davutoğlu. I thank the Foreign Minister Hoshyar for a wonderful presentation.